Hey guys, thanks for stopping in. This week is part 2 of our Maintaining Your Wastewater Tank series.
We hired Greg Cash with Clean Tank to come out and do a professional cleaning of our tanks. He's going to use Clean Tank's exclusive hydrojetting process and get in there and deep clean our tanks without using any harsh chemicals. Clean Tank also has success in getting tank sensors to work properly again.
We'll cross our fingers on that one.
Greg used to be a school teacher, so he educates his customers as he's cleaning the tanks. He tells us what we should and shouldn't be doing to maintain the health of our tanks. In the end, he'll grade us on how we've been maintaining our system. So come along with us and let us see how we do.
And if you haven't already, don't forget, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and ring that bell so you won't miss an episode.
So this is Greg with Clean Tank. Tell us what you're going to do today.
I'm actually going in and clean their black tanks and gray tanks and get all the nastiness that's up in there and get them back to factory clean. We're in the kitchen tank now. You can see a lot of gray water, soap. Usually the kitchen tank's the worst one of all. It have a lot of mold buildup in there because it's hot water and maybe some food particles in there. So we get a lot of stuff out there. A lot of people talk about hearing smelling stuff in their kitchen. It's usually that tank. Always make sure that you, when you flush your tanks, that you put some water in the bottom of it to prime it.
Right.
Put this, put the solution in there, and then do your business like normal. Let it fill up. The problem with the kitchen tank is a lot of people, you don't use it as much as everything else, so it doesn't fill up as often. So it has a lot of time for that water just to sit in there, and then people don't get the water level high enough so that when you drain it, you get a good vacuum out, a good flush out. So,
and this one, a lot of times, smells worse than the black tank.
Absolutely. To me, it's the worst one of all. I mean, the black tank, you know what to expect.
Right.
This one, people are like, oh my goodness, that's my kitchen sink. I wash dishes and everything, but it just has a tendency to, with all the food, maybe food particles, and some people say I wipe my dishes off, I use paper plate, but it just gets down in there some way, somehow, and starts stinking. A lot of times you'll get good mold flakes, black mold, white mold. It just kind of coats the side of the walls. I can see some mold.
We should put that Heinz-on Calgon every time.
Every time, yep. Especially if I would say the two most, I guess the ones that are most needed, kitchen sink and your toilet, your black tank. The shower gets a lot of turnover. Some people put it in there, some people don't. Some people put it every other time.
That's what we basically do.
Basically do, because you get a lot of water turnover. But definitely the kitchen sink and your toilet or your black tank, you definitely need the mixture in it to help fight the odors and the mold, etc. Looks like that's coming out pretty clear.
Now we're working on the shower.
Yep. So again, the shower is usually one of the better ones in terms because it has a lot of water turnover. People usually fill them up pretty regular. You'll get a lot of soap scum out of there. Again, you get some mold. Usually it smells better than all the other two because it smells like soapy water. I have had them where people use so much in there that you fill my pipe up with foam, from soap foam, but you can see that the biggest thing there is usually a lot of soap scum. Somebody's been using some good shampoo. I think it's Rose. I'm blaming Rose. Running nice and clean. All right, so we're gonna come out of there and close it up and head into the gold, the gold tank, the black one. In the black tank, sometimes you get stuff called Struvite. And Struvite's like kidney stones that form on your tank from like the urine, high concentration of urine and the minerals in it. And it'll coat the inside of your tank, sort of like rust, but it can get really thick, like 1/4 inch thick.
You see this stuff is still coming out.
Still coming out, sitting on the bottom. The problem is the way they design these tanks is the exit holes on the side, and you have a little bit of like an inch lip. So these tanks don't stay completely flat. They concave down with weight. So a lot of times that stuff just sits on the bottom, and the good clean water that you're putting in is just flowing right over the top of it. So like the water went over mud. And so when you think, okay, I got my tanks clean, you're still getting odors, it's usually coming from this. Most time full-timers will say once a year, especially if you're taking good care of your tanks like we're trying to teach you, educate people to do. People that are maybe not full-timers, they might go by a year and a half, 2 years, depending on how much they use it. We always suggest people never leave, if they store their rigs, never leave their tanks dry. I know people in the winter environments have no choice but to winterize, but if you're like storing where it's not going to freeze, and you put some water, at least put 500 gallons of water in your tank, put some solution in there and just let it sit. It's not going to hurt anything. It's going to keep your seals lubricated. It's going to keep your tank slick. Nothing dries out. Just keep everything lubricated, hydrated.
You were saying earlier a good tip was to put some Calgon in the bowl of your...
Oh yeah, absolutely. So if you're having trouble with your toilet bowl holding water, a lot of times it's the seal down there starting to dry out. So usually we tell folks, if you take a little bit of Calgon, put some water in your bowl if it'll hold it, put some Calgon in there and just let it sit overnight. The minerals in Calgon will basically rehydrate your seals. And it's better than using Vaseline, because a lot of people want to use Vaseline down there, and yeah, it works a little bit, but Vaseline actually ends up drying your seal out more than it does hydrating your seal. So.
Ancient Chinese secret, huh?
Well, it's starting to run a lot clearer. But right now, I'm at the back of the tank and kind of working my way forward. And we'll work toward the front wall, because that's usually where all the stuff wants to hang out, the way the tanks are made, and your sensors are supposed to be there too. That's why people all get issues with the sensors, because all the stuff sludges hangs out right there on that front wall.
Hopefully when this is done, we'll be able to see all our sensor levels again.
Hope so too. Yes. Yeah, we have a pretty good success rate of getting the sensors back to working, reading good. I have people say, hey, my sensors have never worked. Well, we're not, mechanics. We can't make them, but for what we do, we try to get them sprayed off all the gunk and junk off of them. And have people really happy when they see their sensors show E for the first time in a year.
Right. So did you notice any of the Struvite?
I did not see any floating by. We've got as much as 7 or 8 pounds out of somebody's tank before.
Wow.
That takes up a lot of space, adds a lot of weight to your rig. People don't realize that, more about weight concerns, but
with this, that we use this as another source of fresh water, right?
Absolutely. I might run it through a Berkey, just a little bit if you want to. At least one of those Walmart, 2 filters, one time. Get all those minerals out. Y'all are doing right. Black tank's a black tank. It's got some nastiness in it. And your other 2 tanks look really.
So you're a former teacher. What would you grade us?
First of all, we got to flush real quick to see how it comes out. But if I was grading right now, I'd probably give your black tank as a solid C, pretty average, for most people. Probably your shower tank was probably a B. You got a lot of soap scum in there. In the kitchen sink, probably C, pretty average. We just see some little bit of mold in there. So nothing dramatic. I've given some D's and stuff like that. And so
he's a tough teacher.
Yeah. I feel like I was shooting for a B, so a little disappointing.
We might can get you an average out to a B. We'll see how it goes.
Extra credit.
So right now we're going to be back flushing the shower. One of the things we suggest people invest in is one of these things called a Flush King and a Saver Drop meter. So you can actually flush your tank a lot faster, with a lot more volume, and in a quicker fashion than you would if you were going to use your normal back flush from your rig.
This is how I can back flush my gray tanks.
You can back flush your gray tanks this way, right? Which you don't have a back flush on your gray. You get probably a fraction of the time it takes to do it that way, this way. So your tanks are, we already put 10 gallons in. We've been talking for like a minute. Yeah.
Okay, and I've got this valve that we took off, so that really I just put one of those flow savers.
Yep. You pretty much got the idea. Get you one of the saver drops here, kind of to meter, so you don't put too much in, and literally you can flush yours in 2 or 3 minutes. So we just filled your shower tank with 30 gallons. We're gonna pull it.
See what comes out.
Yeah, again, usually the shower is gonna be the cleaner of all three. It might cloud up a little bit, but blowing hard and fast, clear. Yep, it's a good tank.
Yeah.
About 5 up in here. Always good to reset your meter, so you know what you got. This is the first flush of the kitchen. Starts out looking good, and sometimes in the middle it'll cloud up a little bit. It starts getting a little bottom of the tank, but it's a nice clean tank. Yeah, I like it.
So we get extra credit for that one?
Yes, absolutely. We'll change a minus to a plus. Is that what you want? Is that what extra credit does? Put you about 5 gallons of water back up in there. Then prime your tank for the solution. Alright, now we're going to flush out the top. Alright, so here's your first flush of your black tank. 30 gallons in there. We'll be looking for anything floating through, toilet paper. That water's drinkable.
Yeah, you first.
Hold my beer. Nice. I'm gonna flush this one. I'll back to this twice. You know what's hanging out the bottom. Alright, second flush of your black tank. First one went really good, but we will make sure, so. Good flow, clean water, nothing coming out. So here's a bottle solution we give everybody after we do a cleaning. Recipes on the bottle right here for this 32 ounce. There's Alabama Redneck math for you.
Perfect.
Cup, give or take. So you'll go in and put a cup in your black, a cup in your kitchen, probably a cup in your shower, and then just let it do its thing, use your normal business, and then when you get ready to empty, dump it out, put some more water back in, put another cup in.
Perfect.
And here's a little gift bag we give. My wife thinks this is one of the coolest things ever. She, and here, let me get it out. A little miniature funnel that goes in this bottle, so when you go to mix, it's so cute.
Nice.
Yay, wife.
Yeah, she's all good. So there's that, and there's some literature here about how to keep your tanks healthy. There's also business cards with the mixture on the back of it if you need that for a gallon.
Awesome.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Greg, and so if anybody wants to contact you, you want to give your
You can
information?
go online and find cleantank.com. We're Greg and Tammy Cash. We're Clean Tank on the Road number 6. You can find us. We'll be out. There's about 50 dealers around the country. So if we're not near you, we'll find somebody who is near you to help you out. So appreciate you. Thank you, buddy.
So what did you think of the Clean Tank experience?
It was pretty neat. I don't think this is something that the standard person could do themselves, so I think it's a good process. And Greg was really friendly. He was super friendly, and he was funny, so it was entertaining, and he was actually very educational about it. He taught us a lot.
Yeah, I'm with you. I thought Greg did a fantastic job. He really got everything clean in there. The tanks looked to be as clean as they were the day they were made. I thought Greg was very personable as well. He made me feel like I'd known him forever. He didn't come across as a salesman, and that's a good thing in my book.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he seemed to be very knowledgeable. I agree with that, and I definitely came away feeling like I'd learned something new.
Yeah.
And I feel like with you, like we should add this as part of our yearly maintenance, living full time.
Yeah. And just a side note, all 3 of our sensors did not start working again, but 2 of them did. So 2
Two
out
more
of
do we
3.
have?
Yeah.
If you haven't already, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss a single episode.
Of course there are outtakes.
All by myself. Greg Cash with Clean Tank to come out and do a professional cleaning of our tanks. He's going to use Clean Tank's All right, we're in the black tank now.
If you had smell-o-vision, you can smell it right now.
Yep.
Thumbs up and ring that bell. And listen to the hammer right next door. And don't forget, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Give us...
So usually in the black tank, you know, you don't have the standard peep and peep. That's that, yeah, that stuff.
Still just me.